So this is the pre-laboratory discussion on the lab experiment titled Comparative Analysis of Soda Ash Mixtures, wherein we will be using the double indicator method, and we will be reusing the potentiometric titration method that hopefully you should have learned from the previous experiment. Okay, so let me first introduce the concept of soda ash. Okay, it is a technical term that we use for sodium carbonate. However, when we produce soda ash in the industry, okay, the technical grade soda ash that we produce may contain impurities that may either be inert or may also possess basic characteristics. So in order for us to determine the purity of the soda ash, in other words, the percentage of the sodium carbonate present in your soda ash sample, we do direct titration with a standard acid, in this case hydrochloric acid, up to the methyl orange endpoint until it completely neutralizes the carbonate ions at about pH 4. Okay, however, it does not allow us to identify and measure the basic impurities present in the sample. So for us to measure the analyte and the basic impurities present in the sample, the way to best analyze it is to use two different visual indicators. And that's precisely what we will be doing in this experiment. Okay, so in our experiment, we will simulate in a sense, no, a technical grade soda ash, wherein we are preparing or we have prepared an impure sample of soda ash, and there are three possible, actually four, no, possible contents of the soda ash: sodium carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate, and sodium hydroxide, no? And then we might add an inert solid that looks like any of the three. Okay, so an impure sample of soda ash may contain any of these three, either alone or as various mixtures. Okay, however, it's impossible for all these three constituents to exist in appreciable amounts because the reaction will eliminate the third. So, for example, no, actually ang magiging problem lang is pag nagsama si sodium hydroxide tsaka si sodium bicarbonate, no? When they are together, no, in your sample, they react to form sodium carbonate. So, paano mo malalaman kung ano yung magiging composition, no? It depends, no? If you have more sodium hydroxide than sodium bicarbonate, no, then your sodium bicarbonate is limiting, so it will react completely. Ang matitira lang sa'yo is sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. But if, for example, meron kang mas maraming sodium bicarbonate than sodium hydroxide, so mauubos yung sodium hydroxide, so you have a mixture containing sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate. Okay? So the following combinations, no, are the possible, no, combinations or constituents present in your sample, no? Sodium hydroxide only, sodium carbonate only, sodium bicarbonate only, a mixture of sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. Remember, hindi yan magre-react kasi basic na yung carbonate, no? Wala na siyang protons, no, to donate. Okay? So, hindi na siya pwedeng maging acid. Okay? So, hindi na siya magre-react with sodium hydroxide. Okay? So, pwede silang magsama. And also, your sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate can be together. Okay? So, um, when you analyze na such mixtures, na it requires two titrations with a strong acid. Now, the first titration should have an indicator that transitions in color in the alkaline range, such as your phenolphthalein, and the other indicator must be an indicator that transitions in color in an acid range, now such as bromocresol green. Okay, in our experiment, no, we will be using phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Okay, yun yung dalawang gagamitin nating indicators. Okay, but Nonetheless, no, similar pa rin yung expected results natin. Okay? So, we can deduce the composition of the solution from the relative volumes of acid needed to titrate equal volumes of the sample. No? So, itong method na to, no, is actually what we call as parallel titration. Actually, dalawa yan, no? May parallel titration, meron kang sequential titration. So, yung nakikita nyong volume relationships na to ay tinatawag na parallel titration. No, in a parallel titration, okay, you have two solutions or two samples of equal volumes. No, you titrate both, no, using the same titrant, but their difference is on the indicator that is present. No, in one sample, your indicator will be phenolphthalein, and the other sample, no, is in this case methyl orange. No, pero sa table nakalagay bromocresol green. Okay, pero sa experiment natin methyl orange. Okay, now based on the relationship, no, you will determine, or yeah, you will be able to determine the constituents in the sample. So if the volume required to reach the phenolphthalein endpoint is the same as the volume required to reach the bromocresol green endpoint, no, accounting for significant for errors, no, kasi baka isipin nyo, sir, yung isa 24.3, yung isa 24.4, no, hindi yan equal, no. Well, I think that's within error, no? So we can still say na equal sila. So in that case, no, the constituent is sodium hydroxide. Okay? If the volume required to reach phenolphthalein is one half the volume required to reach bromocresol green, then it's sodium carbonate only. Okay? Pag zero ang volume ng phenolphthalein, pero merong required volume to reach the bromocresol green or methyl orange, then it's sodium bicarbonate only. Okay? If the volume of the phenolphthalein is greater than one half the volume of bromocresol green, then mixture of hydroxide and carbonate. Finally, if the volume of phenolphthalein is less than one half the volume of bromocresol green, then it's a combination of carbonate and bicarbonate. In terms of titration curves, no, these are what the curves will look like. Okay? Kapag sodium hydroxide lang, no, equal ang volume ng phenolphthalein tsaka volume ng bromocresol green. Okay? So, yung indicator na phenolphthalein tsaka bromocresol green, na they are found at the same transition. Okay? Pero, no, kapag sodium carbonate lang, right? Yung first transition mo, no, will be the transition when you reach the phenolphthalein endpoint, and your second transition mo is the transition where you reach the bromocresol green endpoint. So dito makikita mo na pag sodium carbonate lang, the volume of at the phenolphthalein is one half the volume of the bromocresol green. Okay? About one half. Kapag naman sodium bicarbonate lang, no, makikita nyo yung pH niya magsa-start at lower pH dun sa allowable range ng phenolphthalein. So wala ka na makikitang endpoint for phenolphthalein, no? So in this case, right, you will only observe an endpoint for bromocresol green or for methyl orange. Kapag ganon, bicarbonate lang yung laman. Now, if no, the volume at the phenolphthalein endpoint is greater than one half the volume at the bromocresol green, then sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. And finally, kapag naman yung volume ng phenolphthalein is less than, rather, less than one half of the volume at the bromocresol green, kapag kinalahati mo yan, around dan dito yan, no? So, pag less than yung volume ng phenolphthalein dun sa one half ng volume at bromocresol green, then it's a mixture of bicarbonate and carbonate. Now, with regards to the calculations, no, on how to what to expect for the titration curve in terms of pH, no, paano na devise yung ganyang system, no, i-explain natin yan in person, no, during our dry lab para mas maintindihan ninyo. Okay, so let's now go to the procedure of your experiment. No, so we will use the 0.1 molar HCl that I hope you still have, no, in your amber bottles in your locker. Okay, so this is the titrant that you used in the first experiment, no? So yan yon. So sabihin yung standard concentration na na-calculate nyo from the first experiment, yun yung i-assume nyo na concentration nitong HCl na to. Although again, no, in analytical chemistry labs, that's not advisable, no? You should actually restandardize, no? Unless confident na kayo na yung concentration niya does not change over a period of time. Okay? Pero usually dapat nagsa-standardize tayo ulit. Okay. Now you will be given an unknown solid per group. No, you will be assigned an unknown solid. Siguro pagdating na sa lab class, doon ko na i-announce kung gaano karami yung i-weigh nyo per trial. But basically, you will be weighing a certain amount, okay, for each trial. And you will be dissolving, actually hindi pala, no? I just realized, I think you will only be dissolving a certain mass, no? For all three trials na yon. And then once you have obtained it or weighed a certain amount, no, you dissolve it in 50 ml of distilled water and quantitatively transfer to a 500 ml volumetric flask and dilute to mark. Okay, then you invert and shake the flask several times. Okay, now, nabanggit ko kanina, may dalawang klase ng ah, double indicator titration method. Merong isa na isang Erlenmeyer flask lang yung gagamitin natin, no? Pero dalawang indicator. Now, we will start with the phenolphthalein indicator. Pag na-reach na natin yung endpoint, magdadagdag tayo ng methyl orange indicator on the same flask. We don't have to repeat, no? And then we will continue our titration. So, anong gagawin doon? Okay, so you obtain a 50 ml alico portion and transfer it into an Erlenmeyer flask. You add 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator solution, and then you titrate with your titrant until you reach the phenolphthalein endpoint. No? And in this case, baliktad naman from pink to colorless or from pink to faint pink. Okay, bago mawala yung color niya. Yun yung endpoint natin. Okay? Yun yung phenolphthalein endpoint, and you will record the volume required, no, to reach that phenolphthalein endpoint as V1. Okay, so yun yung V1 natin. Now, to the same mixture, alright, you will add 1 to 2 drops of methyl orange indicator solution and titrate until the methyl orange endpoint, no? So, ito yung pinkish orange na nakita natin before. Okay, so you will record the volume of the HCl needed to bring about the methyl orange endpoint as V2. Okay? So, anong pinagkaiba? Yun dito, no? Record initial volume, ay sorry. Initial volume, no, at before the phenolphthalein endpoint, record final volume. Ito yung at the phenolphthalein endpoint, no? And then, so VF minus VI, yun yung V1. Alright. Dito naman, no, yung initial volume nyo, since tinutuloy nyo from the phenolphthalein endpoint, no, so record nyo yung initial volume, or, yeah, record yung initial volume kung saan kayo tumigil last time. So, yung final volume nung previous, yun yung initial volume nito. Then, record the final volume at the methyl orange endpoint. Okay? So, your V2 is VF minus VI. Okay, so you perform 2 more trials using the same procedure. Okay, then report the composition of the unknown assigned to you. Express results in terms of the mass percent of the sodium carbonate and the impurities. So you might be wondering, ano naman ang, paano nyo malalaman kung ano yung composition, kung V1 tsaka V2 yung ginagamit natin, no? So, tingnan natin. So, kung V1 tsaka V2 yung ginagamit natin, kung natapat kayo sa successive addition, by the way, hahatiin natin yung class. Yung iba sa inyo will be doing successive addition, the other half will be doing parallel titration, no? So, paano kung successive titration yung tapat sa inyo? Paano mangyayari? Okay? So, sa sodium hydroxide, no, yung V1 ninyo, no, will be greater than 0. Okay? You will reach a certain endpoint. V1 is greater than 0. Okay? Pero yung V2 ninyo, 0. In other words, pagka na-reach nyo na yung endpoint ng phenolphthalein, no? Pag nagpatak kayo ng methyl orange, dapat ang measure ninyo is either the endpoint na or ang makikita ninyo is already the endpoint at the methyl orange or no, yung acidic color na ng methyl orange. Okay? Which is color red. Okay? Oh, yun na yung makikita ninyo. Pag sodium carbonate, yung laman, V1 is equal to V2. No? Kung gaano kadami yung nilagay nyo for reaching the phenolphthalein endpoint, ganon din yung karami yung ilalagay nyo for reaching the promocresol green endpoint. Pagka sodium bicarbonate yung meron, wala ka ng V1. Okay? Kasi paglagay mo ng phenolphthalein, ang makikita nyo, clear na agad siya. Okay? Pero, ang V2 mo ay greater than 0. Okay? Pag sodium hydroxide and sodium bicarbonate, no, ang V1 mo ay greater than your V2, okay? Pero pag sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate, your V1 is less than V2. Okay? So that's how you can determine kapag V1 and V2 or successive addition yung ginawa mo. Now, paano naman pag parallel titration? Pag parallel titration, ito yung dinidescribe ko kanina. You have two flasks, right? Ito mas matrabaho kasi technically, 6 na beses kayong magta-titrate. No? Kasi, you have, what do you call this? 3 trials, no? Times 2 flasks, so 6 titrations. Okay, so dito, you obtain a 50 ml alico portion and transfer it into a clear Erlenmeyer flask. Add 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Titrate with 0.1 molar HCl until the phenolphthalein endpoint. Now, record the volume as volume at phenolphthalein, VPH. Then you redo, okay? You get another 50 ml. This time you drop methyl orange, titrate until the methyl orange endpoint, and we will record the volume of HCl used as VMO. Okay, then you perform 2 more trials and report the composition of the unknown assigned to you. Okay, and then express your results in terms of the mass percentage of the sodium carbonate and the impurities. Okay, all right. So, potentiometric, then after that, no, so, again, no, isa lang yung ma-assign sa, isa lang dun sa dalawa yung ma-assign per group, no, either ang gagawin nyo ay successive addition or parallel titration. Then after that, no, we will be doing potentiometric titration. So, similar sa ginawa niya sa experiment 3. Okay, so here you will obtain another 50 ml alico portion of your unknown, transfer it into a 250 ml beaker, and then yung parang ginawa nyo no, experiment 3, no, measure the initial pH reading. Again, no, you do 0.5 ml increments. This time we have a stir bar, so you don't have to use a stirring rod. Now read the pH. Now read the pH first bago kayo maglagay ng anything na titrant. And then every after 0.5 ml increments, you read the pH. Okay? Now when you observe a significant change in pH, okay? Ano nangyari? May hindi ako nabura. Hindi ko ito nabura. No, ulit. Teka, delete natin yan. Nasaan na yun? Nasaan yun? Hindi ko nabura. Ayan, ito. Okay, yan. So, repeat the previous step until a large, ayan, kapag mataas na increase in pH, no, you add 0.1 in ml increments. pH 11 na siya, resume adding 0.5 ml increments until it reaches 12. Okay, then you report the composition of the unknown assigned to you, express the results in terms of the mass percent of the sodium carbonate and the impurities, and then you compare your results based on the method of two methods of analysis na ginawa ninyo. No? So kung successive addition yung na-assign sa inyo, doon nyo i-compare. Kung parallel titration yung na-assign sa inyo, doon nyo i-compare. Okay? So that ends the pre-lab discussion. No, again, the calculations involved in this will be discussed in class, no, para mas maintindihan ninyo. All right? Thank you for listening.